The drug substances exist in different forms. These may be the polymorph, amorphous form. The drug substances or APIs may be present as hydrates or manufactured as hydrates, solvates, or these drugs may be anhydrous. And there are some forms called as pseudo polymorphs. So all these type of form information we are going to learn in this video. What are hydrates, solvates, pseudo polymorphs, what is anhydrous form, and how these API forms affects the drug substance properties and the formulation. I welcome all the viewers to this short video for the information regarding these API forms. So if you come across such terminologies, you should understand the exact meaning and how it affects. Anhydrous or hydrated form. The role of anhydrous form, monohydrate, dihydrate, trihydrate, sesquihydrate, hemihydrate forms in the formulation we should know, and how these forms are going to impact the solubility, stability, bioavailability and manufacturability that is required to be understood. If the form of the API affects the solubility, stability, certainly it will have impact onto the dissolution, then absorption, permeability, bioavailability, then it will have impact onto manufacturability, stability, and in turn it will affect the safety and efficacy of the product. Why are different hydrate forms used? So hydrate forms affect the drug's physical properties, chemical properties, physicochemical properties, you can say, chemical stability, intrinsic solubility, intrinsic stability, dissolution, solubility, bioavailability, and the manufacturing behavior. You might have come across a situation where you need to use a specific hydrate form or anhydrous form, and sometimes these forms are also available as solvate forms, and these are called as pseudopolymers. As these forms affect the safety and efficacy, we need to understand these things, and we need to know how the formulation is being affected because of these properties. Also, if the formulation is manufactured using anhydrous form, hydrated form, monohydrate, trihydrate, so label claim will get affected. You need to check the water content. Those information are important. How these forms affect the solubility and dissolution rate. So hydrated forms lower solubility because of the stable crystal lattice, because already there is a water in the crystal, and that's why solubility may be lower. Anhydrous forms have no water, that's why these may dissolve faster but may hydrate on storage in the GI tract or during the stability. That means anhydrous form may get converted to monohydrate or dihydrate or any type of hydrate. Ampicillin is anhydrous, but on solubility it has a greater solubility than trihydrate form. Stability. Hydrates often more thermodynamically stable under humid conditions because they already have water. So the affection or the tendency to get the water is less. Anhydrous form may be more hygroscopic and degrade faster. So stability impacts the storage and shelf life depending on to the hydrate form. Bioavailability considerations. Solubility impacts absorption and in turn it affects bioavailability. There should be a balance between high solubility anhydrous and stability hydrated forms. Risk conversion in GI tract may reduce bioavailability. Manufacturability factors. So considering the solid oral formulations or liquid orals or any other type of formulations, the flow, compressibility, particle size varies with the hydration state. Monohydrate may compress better than dihydrate. Anhydrous may have poor flow properties, or there may be changes. It is not like that the hydrated forms are good or anhydrous are good. It depends on to the particular molecule. Regulatory and patent aspects. So patents may be there regarding specific hydrate form. Hydrate anhydrous form may be patentable individually. Require separate regulatory approval. Form change may require new B studies. So if it has impact on the bioavailability, safety and efficacy, then many of the times the generic applicants needs to do the bioavailability or clinical studies and may go for the patent. Moisture sensitivity and storage. Hydrate form may absorb less moisture because already water is there, as I have told. Helps to reduce degradation and maintain dosage form integrity. Moisture barrier packaging may be required for the anhydrous forms because anhydrous forms have more tendency to get the moisture or water from the environment. Real world pharmaceutical examples like ciprofloxacin monohydrate is there preferred for the better stability. Ampicillin anhydrous is selected for better solubility. Theophylline monohydrate is for better manufacturability. In conclusion, we need to perform the reformulation studies and understand the polymorphic form, also solid form, hydrate form, monohydrate form, anhydrous form, and techniques like DSC, XRD, TGA, and hygroscopicity are required to be studied. And these forms are studied through these type of studies. Select the optimal form based on the solubility because it will affect dissolution and bioavailability. Stability, manufacturability, and regulatory strategy, whether any specific form is patented. So your goal is to get the good formulation, the robust formulation, and show or demonstrate the safety and efficacy. Now see the pseudo polymorphs. As we have understood regarding the hydrates and solvates, pseudo polymorphs also play great role. Pseudo polymorphs, these are also called as hydrates or solvates, are crystalline forms that incorporate solvent molecules into the crystal lattice. For example, the pseudo polymorphs contain the solvent molecule. That's why these are called as solvates. And if that solvent molecule is water, it will commonly called as hydrate. Contrast with the polymorphs. Polymorphs have the same molecule. These are the same molecule in different crystal structure, but in pseudopolymorphs, drug plus solvent is there in the crystal lattice. Hydrates contain the water as solvent molecule. There may be other solvents like ethanol, methanol, DMSO. Anhydrous forms are free from the solvents. There is no solvent in the molecule. Theophylline monohydrate versus theophylline anhydrous. Importance in the pharmaceutical development. So common phenomena is there in the drug substances which affects the solubility, stability, manufacturability, and bioavailability. Pseudopolymorphism significantly affects drug solubility, stability, and manufacturability. Must be carefully identified, characterized, and controlled for the robust formulation. It is critical for regulatory compliance and product performance. Label claim is affected by these type of solvents in the molecule like hydrates, solvates, pseudopolymorphs. Also, you need to demonstrate the stability if you are working with the different pseudopolymorphic form, different hydrate form than the reference formulation. Many solvent form you can find in the literature, and you can go through those uh, polymorphic forms, or you can go through those hydrate forms, solvate forms, pseudopolymorphic forms, and you should know or study the impact. Thank you for watching the video. Let's meet soon with such kind of informative video.